Network.
It's 7 o'clock. It's Thursday night. I'm Mac James, stand-up comic, and it's time for Stand Up for News. All right, welcome back to another adventurous, informative episode of Stand Up for News. I am Mac James, James Esterline, your host. I'm a stand-up comic, and we are stand-up comics, and we tell the news the way you want to hear it, the funny way. My co-host here is Robin Savage, stand-up comedian, Best of the Bay winner for Experiment Act, right? Say hello, Robin.
Yeah, hello. It is awesome to be here back in Radio Land on Thursday, where I am every Thursday.
Savage.
Yep.
She's a savage.
And we also have our other co-host here, Captain Jim Marvin, stand-up comedian. Say hello, Captain.
Ahoy out there on the ocean waves and on the airwaves. Good to be with you.
He's also Best of the winner for Sexual Experimental Act.
Yeah, he's Best of the Bay.
That's just between us, man.
I think you were the only one that voted, Manny. I don't think anyone else was on the ballot either. Our other comedian here, our stand-up comedian co-host, Manny Avila. Say hello.
Hola. Hello, guys. I'm Spanish.
Welcome. And our special guest, stand-up comedian in the studio with us today is Abigail Yort.
Dort.
Nort.
Like Dart with an O.
I said it wrong. You introduce your guest. Go ahead.
Okay.
Start over with that part.
We have a phenomenal guest here today. We have Abigail Dort. She is from down south. You're originally from Nashville.
Yes.
But you live now in
Port Charlotte, Florida.
Hey.
So you live in Port Charlotte, Florida. Now, how long have you been making the funny, doing the stand-up comedy?
It's been approximately 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a labor of love.
What'd you bring
We have
me
two
here?
very different relationships with comedy.
I'm not good at reading, so I don't know what this is.
Well,
Is this your resume? Did you bring me a resume?
Close enough. My comedy resume.
How many words a minute do you type?
I was like, oh man, she brought a test. I'm gonna fail.
Are you proficient in Word or whatever?
So you got your start in Nashville, Tennessee. Is that right?
Yes,
Wow.
I sure did. I sure did. Bobby's Idle Hour and the East Room was where I used to work.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, what brought you to Florida?
Just like everybody in Florida, family brought me down here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What else could drag you over here?
Right. And I did come kicking and screaming, my old Kentucky home. I could not go away until the next day, and I saw that beautiful sunrise and went, oh my God, this is fabulous. I'm not going back. So
You brought some moonshine with you, didn't you, at least?
that's neither here nor there.
We'll talk after the show.
Should be here, actually. All right, what's this all about? In 2018, you signed up for a record?
No.
World record?
Yeah, so in
Go ahead,
Nashville, we did the Broken Record Show where we broke our record every year for the longest comedy show. So, of course, I signed up for it and I got a spot and everything. But in order to qualify for the Guinness World Book Record, you had to have all paying comedians. And at that time, I hadn't been paid yet. So the first thing that I did when I got to Florida was I got a paying gig.
There you go.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Took me like 10 months to get my first paid gig. $10 is what I got.
I beat you.
Hey,
I got a whole 20.
I'll take my beating.
Man, he's still waiting on his first paid gig.
Got some paid gigs.
So this is so you got a BA in a corporate organization communication?
Yes, so my background is in communication.
Oh wow. I'm always shocked to see a comedian who's educated. You know, I'm like, oh, you actually went to school. That's
I have a master's too. I mean,
wow,
yeah. So
wow.
my graduate work's in organizational communication. I have a master's degree of public administration. So sounds really amazing,
yeah,
huh?
that sounds really good.
I always thought BA stood for bad attitude, like in the A-team. So what does this one stand for? Bad attitude in corporate organizational communication with minor marketing skills or something?
Yeah, that's what we'll go with. That's what we'll
What
go
should
with.
BA stand for?
And so one question I have I'm looking for a job. Can I borrow your resume?
That's the truth right there.
I
Yes.
forgot the whistle, Jim. It's in the trunk. Give me your trunk whistle.
So
Is
you're
it in your
definitely
act? Is it in your
educated.
trunk? No, you don't have to. I'm just.
What got you
don't
from
have
like
to, Jim.
having a bachelor's and a master's to like, hey, I'm going to tell some jokes and some dirty bars?
So, actually, in college, professors love to give you those papers that mean absolutely nothing. And so I started having fun with them and writing papers on how to become a comedian in Bowling Green, Kentucky,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
which is very hard when there's no open mics, there's nothing. So
Yeah.
I had to venture off to Nashville. So I actually didn't get on stage after school for another 5 years after doing all my papers at college of how to become a comedian.
Wow. So you researched and wrote papers about being a comedian before you actually stepped on stage?
Surprisingly, yes. I have a lot of fun in life, and sometimes it takes, making the mundane more fun. And I feel like that's very much so being a comedian is
Right.
taking mundane, stories and making them funny.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so your thesis was on Richard Pryor. Is that right?
Actually, my favorite is Robin Williams. I did a lot on Robin Williams.
Yeah, you said that so his death inspired you to kind of do comedy?
So my idea was if we have one coming off stage, we should probably put another one up. So I was like, well, I mean, if there was ever a moment that you take this off your bucket list, it would be now. So that's when I really started.
Yeah.
I think before he died, I started doing like 1 or 2 mics. And then once he died, I said, okay, it's time.
Yeah, his death was on my bucket list. Once he died, I'm like, okay, I feel better now. I'm sorry, that's horrible. I like him. I like Robin a lot, He was on my genie
I
list.
love suicide jokes.
Manny's super inappropriate. We go
It's
around.
appropriate.
Yeah, you can only hear it
For this show, it's appropriate. I love suicide jokes. So here it says your 10-year-old daughter Matilda started getting on stage in 2023.
Oh.
I'm assuming that's not at a strip club. I hope because she's only,
No polls were involved.
Okay.
No polls were involved.
So tell me, is that as a comedian, she was doing comedy at 10?
Yeah. So
Okay.
last summer, Miss Ruth called me up and said, hey, Tease Day, we need you to come. I need for you to close out the show today. And I said, when it comes to my kids, it's a hard stop. I can't. And she was like, no, please, before you leave town, please come by and do the room. And I was like, okay, fine. And then she was like, I was wondering, are your kids funny? Because I said I'd have 4 kids in tow. And she said, and I said, well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not a pageant mom. I'm not going to be throwing them on stage.
Right.
And on the drive there, I asked the kids, I was like, who would like to, go on stage? Would you like the opportunity? And my 13-year-old son started doing fart jokes. And I was like, okay, you're not going on stage.
I like him already. That sounds pretty
I want to
awesome.
hear those.
It's a fart of a joke.
I think there was more farting but joking involved. But then my daughter, who's seen me go on stage several times, she said, well, I can do it, Mom. And she has social anxiety. Like she's an amazing soccer player, but wouldn't play at games. She was really good at dance, but wouldn't really do the recitals and things like that. So when I asked her, she was like, well, you can do it. And I have anxiety. And she was like, well, you can do it. Then I can do it. And I was completely blown away. It was so much fun. She came up with her own material.
Wow.
She turned 10 just before she went on stage, and she started the night with, now that I'm a lady. The whole room just roared. Just absolutely roared.
That's
So
great.
it was a pretty awesome experience.
Okay.
I had my son at a Father's Day show. I did it at my mic 5 years ago, downtown St. Pete at Del Mar. He got on stage. He was 12. He roasted me on Father's Day. And it's very cool. But he really doesn't. He's very funny. He writes his own stuff, but he's got no interest in doing comedy other than writing for me. Yeah.
Other than taking
Nice.
other than seizing the opportunity
He
to make
writes
fun of his
to
father.
entertain me is what he does. I don't use
Yeah.
his stuff much. Anybody else want
So
to? Any more questions for our guest before
So
I
it
go
says-
into the news?
Yeah, what's going to happen for you in 2024?
All right, well, you be stripping because it says here that, it says here that you're looking at
Watch
kind of
out,
show,
world.
Randy.
45, and here we come.
That's what Jim said too.
So I'm working the open mics. I'm dabbling in hosting. I'm trying to figure out, where's going to be my spot here in Florida. My next couple of shows are I do the Common Grounds open mic every Wednesday night. The next one being Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
Ollie's Pub, they have contests, and the next contest is February 21st. So if anybody would like to come way down south into Cape Coral from St. Peter's, feel the need to support me, I would be greatly appreciated. And then on the 22nd, I'm at McCurdy's at an open mic.
Oh, wow.
I hear so much
Right.
about McCurdy.
Curtis
Yeah.
is a really good spot.
Heck yeah, I haven't been there, but I hear nothing but good things about it. Happy birthday to my friend Jim White. I usually call him every year on his birthday. He's watching right now. Any more interview questions? Short interview questions? We've gone a little over that, but
Oh, I guess just the one that we ask everybody, because it sounded like you had some really great experiences, and it sounds like especially the one with your daughter. Tell me your worst bomb
Yeah,
experience.
it's always fun.
Yeah, that's always
It's
a fun.
So the very first time I went on stage was at the Bobby's Idol Hour, and I have a great name, I thought. And one of the interviews, or many interviews that I did when I graduated from college, was a memorable thing on my name. And so my name is Abigail, and if you spell it out, it says big gay. And I thought that was right on point. That was just exactly. And I even brought cue cards, really trying to spell out the funny for this. And it went, pew. It was awful.
have you tried it since then? Or?
I have a couple of
Fix that
times. Some
joke yet?
people have kind of, especially with all the issues with bonuses here in Florida, so it depends on what room, and sometimes they'll accept it and sometimes they won't. So
Huh.
yeah.
Well, we have a show coming up sometime soon in the near future called The Reset Show, where comics with a seasoned experience come back and they tell their very first set. It's called The Reset Show. We'll be doing it soon. We got to pick the right comics that just want to do it, that are, have the experience.
Which is good because oftentimes you find out it's like the premise is good, you're just not good enough to say it yet on stage, So then, so I like that idea. You come back, revisit it.
That's what I was talking to Bobby G about last night. He's like, yeah, this first stuff, I still go back to it now that I can tell it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Due
Right.
to the
So true.
stage
Yeah.
presence,
So
experience,
true,
and stuff. All right, well, here at Stand Up for News, we like to stand up for the news because the news it can't stand up for itself. It was born without any legs, and it's like usually always in a wheelchair and stuff. So we stand up for the news for them, like some bullies trying to shake down the news. The news causes us, or here it causes us. The news calls us here at WTAN Radio at 727-441-3000. You guys are welcome to call us too. That's 727-441-3000. That doesn't mean we're going to give you much time to talk.
Yeah.
First, we're going to get into the news. Did you bring some news to stand up for, Abigail?
Yes, I have.
Excellent. Okay.
I have, absolutely.
So we start out, we go in, what is it called?
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. So
Because we're against clocks.
if our man on the street, Scott Patrick, calls in, he's going to go after Abigail, but we're going to go like this, starting with me. Are you ready for the news?
I am.
In Bradenton, a teacher last week is arrested and released from duty for tying up an unruly autistic nonverbal student for over an hour for his outbursts, they said. His defense was the student needed to start learning the ropes.
I do the same with my sailing students.
My God, we can't even speak. What kind of outburst was he having? Jeez.
That's true. Oh my gosh. Okay, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis went to the Florida State Fair today. He told Stand Up for News deep fry reporter he was going to get a Florida quesadilla, which consists of gator bites, freshly squeezed oranges, and the flesh of Mickey Mouse and his family.
Get you a Mickey.
He also won
Childhood,
Best Pig and Show.
He dipped it in every childhood screen.
Wow. So ITV Daytime, an English program, had a woman come on the show, and she started talking about dating, the dating scene nowadays, and she has decided that aliens are better than men. So much so that now she doesn't have to communicate, she telepathically communicates with them. They still don't listen.
That would be a literal nightmare. No offense, Pam. I couldn't handle
He
it.
is located somewhere in the atmosphere. And she came on the show with a blow-up doll of an alien for her placeholder.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So that's
I didn't know
that's
they
the
made
dating
those over
scene
there.
nowadays.
I wonder wonder if she's still open to illegal aliens.
Oh, there you go.
I have the shot here.
New
I didn't know they had those at adamandeve.com. All right, Captain Jim, how is everything out in the high seas? You got any news out there, bud?
Oh, definitely. For the second
Jim is
time
a
in a
real
week.
captain, by the way.
Yeah.
You forgot to. You know how you always reiterate that I'm a real
Forgot to
sea
mention
captain.
that. Yeah.
Okay, back to the news. For the second time in a week, Joe Biden has wrongly identified speaking with European leaders who have passed away. Biden has reportedly referred to speaking with German Chancellor Helmut Kohl and French President Francois Mitterrand about the 2020 election win years after their deaths. In a sit-down interview he was imagining having with Stand Up for News, President Biden told us, quote, "Yeah, I see dead people, Jack. They're all around me, and they don't even know why they're dead. They think they could vote for Trump or for me and live another 4 years. But the truth is, both of us are going to get you all killed. So let the best man who sees dead people win." That's the most sensible thing Joe Biden said in years.
You know it's a bad Joe Biden impersonation when you can make out what he's saying.
I understood it.
Is Clint Eastwood the president now? I don't get it.
All right, let's see here. Amateur archaeologists uncovered a mysterious ancient Roman artifact in England this past week. The English have never seen this sort of item before, but we in America refer to it as a toothbrush. So, all right.
See, I hate when you crap on your jokes before you tell them. They turn out to be good ones. All right, a security alarm at a home sends police to apprehend the home intruder. When they got there, the police entered the home and they found their intruder was just a cute little squirrel. When he resisted arrest, the officers said they had to restrain him because he was going straight for their nuts.
Was it Chip or Dale?
It wasn't Chips. The show got canceled a while back.
Okay, Ted Cruz wants lawmakers to get security escorts through American airports. He proposed this after his much publicized trip last year to Cancun, Texas, when Texas was experiencing the worst freeze in their history. Cruz told Stand Up for News Shane travel reporter, "If we need to leave America in a lurch, we need to have the taxpayers foot the bill so we can do it in private."
That's one cruise that the Mexicans can keep. They don't want to.
January 6th, Florida man arrested after picking up a 16-year-old girl from a World of Warcraft encounter with the intent to marry.
What?
So now we've gone from females going for the intellectual option, and now the males are going for the younger option.
Wait. To be fair, was he getting married in the video game, or was it real?
Touche.
Yeah, she might be
touche.
32 in that world.
Touche. They're resorting to
I would
anime
describe,
now.
trying to getting married. I would describe as a World of Warcraft myself. So my
Not too
advice
far off.
pretty accurate description. All right, sorry, Pam. Sorry.
Author Marianne Williamson suspended her presidential campaign on Wednesday. President Joe Biden said he still looked forward to running against Williamson for the Democratic presidential nomination. So not only does Joe Biden see dead people, he also sees dead presidential campaigns.
You see dead people. He'll be seeing himself in like 2 weeks.
Thanks for seeing me here.
Yeah. All right. In South Africa, a sniffer dog helped us rediscover a rare mole. It's called the Winton's Golden Mole, which is, I just found this article interesting because I also recently discovered a rare mole, but it was on my ass.
Ironically, they have the same name.
And I wouldn't refer to Jim as a sniffing dog.
Again, stop revealing our sex life.
Did you bring the whistle, Jim?
No, well, Whistle is currently at home.
Oh, dang it. All right, well, a 71-year-old Florida woman, you guys, was charged with attempted murder for finding a postcard sent to her husband from a woman in Turkey about 61 years ago. Bertha, that's the woman's name, bit and lacerated her husband, bit him to the point where he needed stitches, lacerated his stomach and arms, her husband, as well as attempting to smother him with a pillow, you guys. The postcard read from the woman from Turkey, Yeah. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Gobble, 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 gobble. So I don't know why she got so upset.
Well, she was obviously gobbling something. It was like,
Gobble,
That was her turkey leg.
Wow, the energy. That 71-year-old has so much more energy than Joe Biden, it seems like. I'll stop with the Biden.
Maybe he's way older than 71.
Yeah, I think he's way older. than
Just 5 years is way older. than that,
At
in
that
overall
age,
terms.
yes. You know, it's like, oh,
She's
75, holy God.
I would say she's a young lass compared to him.
how could you care about your husband still?
A spring chicken.
I mean, after a while,
That's jealousy.
It's
Six
tricky.
decades later.
Yeah. It's turkey under the bridge, I guess.
It's gravy under the bridge.
I would have just divorced and went cold turkey on home.
Good job, Manny.
All right.
Okay, so in the Nevada primaries on Wednesday, the candidate on the ballot with the most votes was an option called none of the candidates. So Nikki Haley and the Simpsons' inanimate carbon rod came in for second place.
So, hey, we're going to move on to our segment. We'll get back to current news as well. But our next segment here, it's kind of like when you heard Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? We sing a theme song for Captain Jim called Where in the World is Captain Jim Seaman? Everybody ready to sing it? Where in the world is Captain Jim Seaman?
Hey, no rehearsal needed.
All right, Captain Jim, let's hear you. Let's go.
Nailed it. All right.
You don't need to explain it too detailed, but how's your game show work?
Basically, a geographical quiz about news that is taking place around the world. I give you multiple choices, and you tell me where my seamen are. And we're talking about the professionals that I sail with. And Abigail, you can join in, and you'll get a fantastic, exciting prize from the WTAN surprise.
Well, these last
prize
ones are one
release.
empty Coke can.
I didn't say they were great prizes. They're just surprise. Okay, first question. My seamen are in Europe and report that an ancient Roman cemetery containing artifacts, including an intact bed, has been unearthed near the bustling center of this European city. Are my seamen in A, Paris, B, Madrid, or C, London? What do we guess here?
I'm going with London.
London.
Even though I stopped paying attention to it.
If it's associated with the joke that Manny already told, I'm going to say London.
I mean,
But is it? I mean, there's a lot of Roman
Don't really
places
care.
in Europe.
I'm going to say Madrid just to throw it off.
Oh, I was going to go for Paris. Probably Fru France is here.
Oh yeah.
Matt, any guesses?
He went to the gentleman's room.
Okay, he's out. Okay, my seamen are in fact in C, London. Good going, guys. The nearly 2,000-year-old oak bed was found in the center of London during building excavation. Next to the bed was a stone tablet with assembly instructions, presumably from the ancient Roman version of IKEA. Along with several pieces of the bed, the owner couldn't figure out what to do with while they were putting it together. What's old is new again. All right, we have 1 point each for James and Manny. On to the second question. My seamen are in the Midwest and tell me that wildlife officials have rescinded the record issued to a man for a large fish he caught in a lake in this state. Are my seamen in A, Iowa, B, Kansas, or C, Missouri? Guesses?
Is Kansas in Missouri, I thought?
Missouri.
Robin, you have to straighten this thing out again.
Isn't Kansas in Missouri, Mom?
Kansas City is both Missouri.
Yeah.
And
All right,
Kansas
I
City's
pick
a
Kansas,
city.
Missouri.
They couldn't make up their mind.
Don't punch James. I'll say Missouri because I'm from Missouri.
I'm picking that one, too.
Missouri.
I'm picking Idaho.
Idaho.
Idaho. It's me, Idaho.
All right, Abigail?
Missouri.
Missouri. Okay. So my seamen are in fact in B, Kansas.
Oh, that's right.
A fisherman named Bobby Parkhurst broke a nearly 60-year-old Kansas state fishing record by landing a record-breaking 4.7-pound white crappie last year. However, game warden seized the fish and restored the previous record, citing inaccurate information listed in Parkhurst's fish record application. Officials say they also seized the fish, citing a report that when it was pulled from the water, it turned its head, wagged its tail, and started singing, "Don't worry, big crappie."
Wow.
What's that supposed to be, like a Chris Crappie? Oh, let's face it, this joke is crappy. I don't think anybody got that one.
A white crappie.
Yeah, okay. So everybody went with Missouri on that one. So it's still a two-way tie between Manny and James. All right. Big tiebreaker here. My semen are in South Asia and tell me that a famous actress in this country is still alive after a post online claimed she had died from cervical cancer. Are my semen in A, India, B, Bangladesh, or C, Pakistan?
This sounds like some Indian stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to say
They
India.
got Bollywood. That's
yeah.
a big production industry there.
Abigail?
Pakistan?
Pakistan only has like documentaries made by U.S.
Okay, thank you, Fellini.
My neighbors were from Pakistan.
My semen are in A, India. All right, nice job. A scandal has erupted in India after it was revealed that Bollywood actress Poonam Pandey is still alive after a statement was shared to her Instagram account claiming she had died from cervical cancer. However, Pandey has now shared a series of posts and videos that she is in fact alive, and that the report was a publicity stunt intended to raise awareness of cervical cancer screenings. What a relief. I have been such a big fan of Pandey ever since she's played Anita in the 2013 film Nasha.
Right.
What? I have to watch no one but Scarlett Johansson and Jennifer Lawrence for the rest of my life, guys? Come on.
Yeah, usually when an actress
on a kids show coming out.
Usually when there's an actress doing a screening, it's not a cervical cancer screening.
She's got her
a different kind of screening.
She does?
It's called Pandy Mandy. Pandy.
I gotta say, this is the first time I've done better than girls at a test.
Are you kidding? You nailed it. You nailed it. That's two for Mandy, and you get a surprise gift for the WTAN prize chest. It is a KN95 mask. Save it for the next round of COVID, which will apparently make our toenails fall out.
Thank you for the mouth condom.
We only went 2 minutes and 20 seconds over your segment this time. Good job, Jim. You cut out a minute of that. All right, back to current news. Are you guys ready for some more current news? Richard Pland builds a 706,900 matchstick model of the Eiffel Tower sculpture to be rejected by the Guinness Book of World Records judges last week for buying his matchsticks in bulk from a company and not commercially available matches like the rules stated.
What?
Yeah. Hey, Guinness, I got a match for you guys. My butt and your face.
Okay.
Remember that?
Feel the love.
They accept like the world's fattest twins on mini motorcycles, but they don't. There's like they get really picky about
commercially available twins.
You get very picky about
You're trying to be thrifty.
Can you imagine?
You're disqualified.
You are the fattest ones, but your shirts are not Fruit of the Loom, so we have to disqualify it. It's so weird.
All right, Robin Savage.
Okay, we were talking about Kansas earlier. I have a Kansas joke. Kansas lawmakers are giving themselves a 93% raise beginning next year. For some lawmakers, their salaries went from $30,000 per year to $58,000 per year. They're saying the raise was an incentive for women or anyone else to serve the public and get paid more than someone who serves fast food. $30,000 doesn't seem like a lot to be a
but the fact that they're in control of their own raise, like they pass the law, the lawmakers pass the law to give them more money. I wish I could do that.
I realized that too, and I was like, how much are these greedy people? Oh, I can kind of see, but I agree with you. Are they passing?
It's not like they're doing a great job, let's be honest.
And are they passing laws for everyone who makes $30,000 to bump it up to $58,000?
Yeah, flip us a burger with that bill next time, and do something useful.
Right. Portland International Airport eased travelers' stress by bringing in 400-pound llamas for the holiday season. They are putting their people flying into so much chaos, so much crazy, so much delays that they wanted to ease them with emotional support llamas.
Oh.
So as they drive you nuts, they send you away with llama love.
So that's that baby llama drama right there.
Yeah, getting spit on by a llama, that's exactly the emotional support I need after being spit on by all my friends.
Hey,
You smell like a petting zoo.
You guys wanted that phone call? You got it. Scott Patrick's with us on the phone.
All right,
Scott.
Our co-host, the man on us street, Scott Patrick, stand-up comedian, is calling in. What street are you on today, Scott Patrick?
Hey, well, today is National Iowa Day. I'm on Preston Place Road because, Iowa's known for its corn. and I really enjoy getting my corn pressed in.
Oh man, I thought you said porn at first.
I know. I was like, where did that come from?
They're more.
Well, Preston Place is actually in a town called Hard Scratch, which is the perfect place to remedy a deep itch I was talking about earlier.
There you go.
Oh, man. Well, we got some news to stand up for. It's actually your turn in rotation. You called in at a perfect time. Do you have any current news to stand up for today?
Well, I do, but I actually have a couple fun facts about Iowa that I'd like to share.
Continue, and then you go ahead
Okay.
and tell your news, and then we'll move right through there.
All right. A fun fact about Iowa is the official state flower is the wild prairie rose, which coincidentally is what I call my cornhole.
This is fun.
Wow.
That's not what I refer to it as, but that's fine.
But
Meaning to fart blossom.
His cornhole is also my cornhole, if you ask me.
So, in current news, actually, a flight attendant revealed his wildest things that he's seen in 25 years on the job. From mile-high hookups to unattended child passengers to defecation, and that was all on one flight bringing Stephen Hawking to Epstein's Island.
Were there any llamas on that flight?
Llama.
Okay, moving right along, Captain Jim.
Thank you. Country singer-songwriter Toby Keith has died after being diagnosed with
What?
stomach cancer 2 years ago. True.
When did this happen?
Yesterday.
I did not. I told my Toby Keith joke last night. I didn't even know that. I just said in tribute to.
He was only 62 years old. African Americans across the country asked Stand Up for News, was he the one arrested in Texas in 2012 for crashing his car while driving drunk? Stand Up for News answered, no, that was Randy Travis. African Americans then asked, okay, wasn't he the one who got pulled over for speeding and dared the cop to arrest him? Stand Up for News replied, that was Zach Bryan. African Americans then said, we got it. He's the guy who stole a police horse while his singing partner fought the cops, right? Stand Up for News said, no, that was Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney. Do you think all country musicians look the same? To which African Americans answered, yes, they do. But they also sound kind of gangster. We need to start listening to more country music. Stand Up for News exasperatedly replied, well, you better catch them before they're all in jail or dead. Farewell,
Rest in
Toby.
peace, Toby Keith. Man, that's sad. I did
Jim,
not
you
know
clearly have
That
never
is-
spoken to a black person.
Now I
before.
want to tell my Toby Keith.
There is no soul in that. I'm sorry. You got to put some soul in that.
Your Joe Biden
communication.
impersonation is actually better than that.
Yes, I know. I tell them at the yacht club all the time. And then later, can I get it?
I just don't see them where I frequent.
In other breaking news, Manny.
All right, let's see. A rare bicolored lobster was found in New England this week. This means that the lobster is half red, it's half blue, it's half male. This sounds like a Dr. Seuss thing. I didn't even notice that. But it's true, though. It means it's a half red lobster, it's a half blue lobster, it's a half male lobster, and a half female lobster. So, in other words, this lobster identifies as a liberal.
That lobster is not welcome in Florida. I'll say that.
Should I tell my Toby Keith joke in tribute? Or
Oh, yeah, let's do it in tribute.
All right, Toby
Let's
Keith.
make fun of the
you might
dead
have
person.
heard of him, right?
Yeah.
Famous country music singer Toby Keith
Being
was
from
married.
the area of Nash Vegas, yes.
He was married to Trish Lucas since 1996. She's super hot and all and cute and everything, but she had Toby Keith whipped. Did you know that? She had him whipped so bad. She even made Toby Keith change his name. It wasn't always Toby Keith. Did you know that?
Oh.
Hey, you know what it used to be? It was Kunta Kinte Keith.
Oh.
Yeah, she made him change it though. But I mean, he had to change it because his initials were KKK, and that's just racist.
Try telling that joke at the yacht club.
Yeah, right.
Jim.
In Reno, Nevada, on I-80, a truck overturns and spills hundreds of thousands of bottles of Dr. Pepper and 7-Up on the freeway, you guys. 7-Up, more like 7 down, you guys. The soda claimed, it's not my fault. I'm not a truck driver. I'm a doctor, damn it. He went to pepper school or seasoning school or whatever. He got his doctorate.
God bless.
Yeah, he's not like Mr. Pibb. He's a doctor.
He's a
Don't
doctor.
call me Mr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I didn't go to
Well,
soda
Mrs.
school for
Pepper,
6
who
years to be called Mr. Pepper.
All right.
Did you see my degrees?
Okay, former child actor Ricky Schroeder told Fox News that artificial intelligence is a dangerous tool and needs to be regulated. Coincidentally, a dangerous tool that needs to be regulated was also Ricky Schroeder's senior superlative in high school.
There we go.
Silver spoons together. Go ahead.
If you're struggling this Valentine's season, Heinz is offering a solution. Heinz unveils the emotional support ketchup bottle headed to Valentine's Day. You can actually grab them off of Amazon. So we're doing so good as a society that llamas are not making it. Ketchup bottles are making it.
We care about our ketchup here in America. You know?
All right. In more breaking news, Scott Patrick.
Yeah, all right. Priest cut off his own penis during a mental breakdown following a tick bite.
What?
Which is actually how he lost his priesthood.
Oh, wow.
But it was at that moment that the choir boys were no longer considered Catholics. They're now called Catholics.
I remind you, this is a Christian station.
Hey, I was raised Catholic, okay? I got God's name on my hand.
You're speaking from experience.
I'm from the Bible Belt. Come right with Jesus.
Oh, man.
All right. Last week, Hootie and the Blowfish singer Darius Rucker was arrested in Tennessee on a drug offense. The singer was arrested during a traffic stop. The officer who pulled Darius over immediately became suspicious when he approached the vehicle and heard the singer reciting one of his famous songs with slightly different lyrics. Hold my bag. I'm not kidding, man. You need to take this from me right now.
You call me Hootie, you can blow my fish anytime. All right. This is a James. Admittedly, this is more for James, and I'm going to say it. Well, any geek out there, but woman. This is a true story too. A woman tossing trash falls into a dumpster. She survives. She survived getting out of the garbage compactor in time. So she fell into a dumpster, right?
Yeah, compacted it four times. We talked about it last week.
I spelled that completely wrong. But it says the woman who is named Dumbass was eventually saved when R2-D2 shut down all of the garbage smashers on the detention level. So, a very geeky reference to Star Wars.
May the Force be with you.
There you go.
Oh, my R2. It's too late.
You already gave one of the groups. So
Yeah, the gay guy always gets to be C-3PO.
Obviously. All right, this story comes out. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, this even shows how much of a geek I am. That was honestly the exact premise of Sam and Cat. You probably have kids. Did you remember? It was the exact premise.
That's where that one chick, Ariana Grande, right?
Yeah. Jeanette McCurdy.
I always thought Ariana Grande was a Starbucks coffee. Turns out she's actually the bomb. You get the bomb that went off at her thing?
How many shots do you want on that? Empty the whole
Killed a bunch of people. Yeah.
What?
What happened? Oh, it was in Europe. This bomb went off at her concert. So I thought Ariana Grande was a coffee. Turns out she's the bomb. You know?
I just thought that concert was a bomb.
Well, yeah, was it a small bomb or a grande bomb?
A woman files a lawsuit against her husband for not showering enough. This was also in Turkey, you guys. You hear about that? She said, if you think this lawsuit stinks, then you should get a whiff of this guy's birthday suit, you know? Yeah. He responded in his defense is that she was actually smelling her own upper lip.
Oh, wow.
All right, now we're going to move on, you guys. We're going to move on. No, go ahead, Mom. We'll do one more round of current, and then we'll get into some other stuff.
King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. Millions of English citizens are sending thoughts and prayers to Charles and Will as they don't want Prince Andrew anywhere near the throne.
Touche. An Alabama man was arrested after stripping naked, jumping into the aquarium, knocking himself unconscious at a Bass Pro Shop. Is that like a reverse alien abduction? Because when you go fishing, the fish think, oh God, I'm getting abdusted again. So
No, he put the ass in Bass.
Exactly, you put the ass in Bass Pro Shop.
I don't know if you remember. You're going to say it again. That's hilarious. All right, Scott Patrick.
Okay. A woman's leg was scratched on a fishing trip. which led to 55 surgeries, and now she wants amputation. And she was quoted as saying, "After all this, you won't catch me hopping on a boat." especially if the boat's on its last leg.
Captain Jim knows all too much about that.
Way too much about that. Matter of fact, on a related note,
you got a short one, Jim?
A man who was reported missing by the U.S. Coast Guard after embarking on a sailing trip from California to Hawaii has finally arrived safely in Honolulu. The voyage of the sailing vessel named Malulani lasted 2 weeks longer than expected, and there is no word on what caused the delay. Stand Up for News discovered that the name Malulani is a Polynesian word meaning, quote, "It's been a minute since I've heard from that guy." Have you seen him?
All right, let's see here. Okay, a giant tumbleweed, roughly the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, was spotted hurling its way down a 4-lane road in California this week. All right, but I saw the video, and surprisingly, it was navigating the roads better than any of the California drivers out there. But I will say this: it's all good now because it was later identified to be a piece of Donald Trump's hair. So.
All right. In North Korea, two 16-year-old boys were sentenced to 12 years in prison for watching soap operas, which are illegal in North Korea. Maybe North Korea is actually onto something for once, you guys. 12 years they got in prison will now be their new days of their lives. Guess what, you guys? I don't know if I should say this. They got a new documentary coming out about them kids. It's called Yellow is the New Black. All right, that's racist. That's racist.
It's about.
All right, we're gonna move on to history and news. Laughs from the past. I guess I'll start real quick. In 1587, Mary Queen of Scots was decapitated today. Did you hear about that, you guys? It was a long time ago, but yeah. I guess when you're when you act like one in Scotland, you will wind up being an actual airhead.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
I have a different spin on that.
Go ahead.
It gives new meaning to catfight.
There you go.
History.
This week in history, February 7th, 1964, the Beatles landed in JFK Airport and were greeted by 25,000 fans. Upon hearing this, Taylor Swift said, "Just 25,000? Rookie."
Noobs.
February 8th, 1960 was when the construction of the Hollywood Walk of Fame in Los Angeles was made. A huge tourist trap, and I have nothing else funny to say about it.
Scott Patrick.
Well, on that Queen Mary thing, right?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I'm kind of like her. I'm a Scot. You never know where next week I'll be headed.
So now we're giving head jokes.
On this day in history, in 1976, a Martin Scorsese film called Taxi Driver had its premiere debut. And sources say he's in progress of making a remake using Teslas called Where's the Driver?
Yes. They said that movie made a lot of dinero.
Who are you talking to? All right, this week in 1917, the United States purchased 3 of the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix, from Denmark for $25 million. In the year 2007, the remaining virgins would be sold off to Jeffrey Epstein and flown to his private island. Well, I guess we can't call them virgins anymore.
The fact that you look and sound like you were on that island makes me uncomfortable. Hearing you say his name 3 times. It might
Never happens on that island.
Say it again.
He says his name 3 times in a row, he might come back to life.
It's not like Beetlejuice.
Jeffrey Epstein. Don't say it, Jim.
Like showtime.
Yeah.
Let that one down.
I will say James Dean died today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Steal
Well,
mine.
not today, but today in history. And I don't have any jokes about that.
Okay, in history, in 1931, actor icon James Dean was born, not died, actually.
Okay.
And even after the handsome Dreamboat's death, the nation is still craving his juicy sausage. Jimmy Dean. Yeah. Delicious.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, this day in history, February 8th, 1924, the gas chamber is used for the first time to execute a murderer. It later inspired J.K. Rowling to write Harry Potter and the Gas Chamber of Revenge.
I tuned in just enough to hear the anti-Semitism.
I'm going to do
I'm not getting any better
guys.
here.
We got 10 minutes left in the show. I'd like to move on to curveballs, if that's okay with you guys.
Yes, I'm in.
Unless anybody has any opposition to that.
Yep.
All right. First, Robin, a disgruntled Russian in Thailand on vacation shaves the barber's head after he got a bad haircut from the barber.
Oh, wow.
He said, "Oh, you don't give me bad haircuts."
I don't know what's going on with curveball.
Curveball, like he gives. It's an improv.
We did it last week.
Okay.
You were here.
I
Remember?
wasn't.
That's right. I'm sorry.
He hasn't been here for 2
All right.
months or 2 weeks.
He's like, I thought you were in a hurry because you're Russian, so I messed up your hair a little bit. Here's one for you. Fishbone Beach in Japan is actually white from the remains of millions of decayed fishbone particles. Abigail.
It gives new meaning to boners.
And then here's one for, let's see, Scott Patrick. A 48-year-old British man fakes his own kidnapping to continue partying in Thailand with his friends on funds sent to him from his family to pay for his fake ransom.
Yeah, well, I'd probably take my death too if I was going to Thailand to see little boys.
And then now I got one over here for Captain Jim. Wang is the only name they gave. A 23-year-old Chinese man dies after a double tooth extraction yesterday.
Oh, everybody, Wang Chung tonight.
Wow. All right.
All right.
Do I have
I
one?
guess Wang doesn't have
I
very
might
much
have another one
penicillin
for
where
you,
he
bud.
lives.
All right, I don't have another one, but I
Don't
do
go my
have.
Wangs.
I have weather today. So in the weather, which is not about the weather, it's about anything like the word weather. Instead of actually being about the weather, Carl Weathers had passed away this week in the weather. You guys, you hear about that? The man that played Apollo Creed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I guess Carl, he was 71, was feeling a little under the weather now.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in
Little
peace.
under the weather.
Now he's under the earth.
Okay, so we got anything more current stories you want to get to?
I got weather.
Oh, fire away with your weather, my good sir.
Okay, I don't know if R. Kelly was into all genders, whether he would be considered bedpan sexual or gender fluid.
Wow.
Awesome. All right, anybody else have weather, or do you have more current news?
I've got a
I got
story.
tons of it. I got tons of stories.
Okay, well, moving right. We'll go ahead and Jim, what do you got? Current?
Yes.
And then we'll move to whoever has current, probably Scott.
NASA's Perseverance rover on Mars captured an image of the Mars helicopter Ingenuity last week after the chopper flew for its last time in January, sustaining damage to its rotor blades. NASA engineers ordered Perseverance to maneuver close to recover the helicopter by beaming a computer program which read, quote, Mars rover, bring Ingenuity over. I didn't know computer programming sounded so much like kids' kindergarten games.
Yeah. That's funny.
It's that simple.
This is weird and it's true. Indian police cleared a suspected pigeon after they were convinced that the bird was a Chinese spy. That actually happened. That's a joke in and of itself. But when asked why they thought it was a spy, they found a tag that said, Made in China. That's what they,
Oh, my goodness.
These are getting pretty.
I did that one last week, too.
Did you?
How the heck were you when I needed tags?
I actually watched it.
Yeah, like Bird actually crapped his pants, when he got busted. But he did deny being a stool pigeon. That's so stupid. All right, Robin.
Okay, a special
Speaking of
counsel. Special counsel won't charge Biden in a documents probe, and the Supreme Court is looking like they're going to reject efforts to kick Trump off the ballot. So basically, 2 old white men can live without abiding by any rules, and no one's willing to hold them accountable. This is not really a joke. I'm just summarizing life as a woman in the 21st century.
Wait. Biden isn't being probed. Is that
I didn't ask for it, but no.
If there's anyone who should go to his gastroenterologist.
Scott Patrick.
Okay. Recent studies have now proven that a woman's tears can have a shocking effect on a man's emotional state, which makes sense because I certainly felt some type of way the first time I saw a weeping vagina.
Oh, wow. That's funny. James still doesn't know that moisture could come out of it. Every time he sees it, he dries up. I don't know. Okay, I'll stop. We can get off of it. I'm sorry. I made everybody uncomfortable.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, let's get one more in before we cover the final segment of the show.
Adult film star Lisa Ann was detained by police on Sunday night after allegedly using her cell phone during a Matt Rife performance at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. As Lisa Ann was led away, she was reported to have told officers, "Ooh, am I under arrest? Do you want to search me? Fingerprints, that's so kinky." No, you were actually being arrested. This is not a film.
Not the police again. Anyway, I have to get out of this ticket.
Are we getting a pizza delivered too?
I was gonna say that. All right, this is a really bad joke.
Make
but
it quick.
I mean, it's a quick bad one. This is a true
sex
story. A motorcyclist who authorities say posted a video of himself on YouTube speeding at 150 miles per hour is wanted on multiple charges. Police says he's in trouble for trying to pull a fast one. All right, there you go. I told you that was bad.
You're walking home.
Abigail, let's let you get another one in.
Rare magnitude 4 earthquake recorded off of Florida's Space Coast late Friday.
Oh.
Apparently, Taylor Swift had a party in Florida. She was shaking it.
She was shaking it off the coast.
Oh, I thought she invited Lizzo.
Who's Lizzo?
Oh. Son of a white boy.
Another African American he's unaware of.
A cartoon character? Is that any Sesame Street character? Liz O? All right, Scott Patrick, let's finish off news and then I'll do the last segment.
All right. So which one to pick for the last one? Okay. Recently, a woman spent over $200 to immortalize her dead pet hamster.
Aww.
And she had it stuffed as a stripper.
What?
On a pole, yes. Which makes sense because who doesn't love a stripper with a mouthful of nuts?
Hey, all right.
Okay. One more for Robin. I know you. Nothing. You're
I got
dead.
one.
All right. Well, don't make me
I got
ask
a cheesy
Jim.
one here. Researchers developed a new smart leggings that can remind you when it's time to stop exercising, which is a good contrast for me because my pants only remind me of how fat I am. So, and that's it.
Well, yes,
Anyone who needs reminding of stop exercising.
You've been running too much.
I guess that's been our show. You got a real quick one, Jim? Because then I got to do the last real quick one, Jim.
Yes, a Tampa woman is accused of smuggling more than $100,000 of cash into the United States from Cuba during a search of her luggage at Tampa International Airport on Monday. A disappointed customs officer wondered aloud to Stand Up for News, quote, "She couldn't have brought some rum and cigars too." That's always how we get those.
All right. Well, I guess we've covered everything but plugs. So, Robin, where's our plugs going to be? In what butt are they in this week?
Tomorrow, Twisted Tiki, we are going to have our Stand Up for News show. My good friend Catherine Maloney is headlining. I will be hosting, and David Williams will be the feature.
David Wayne. It's
David Wayne will be
St.
the
Pete
feature.
Beach, Twisted Tiki, the best free comedy show. Kim Fowler spends good money on those
8
comics.
o'clock, great show.
It's at 8 o'clock. It's a free show. You're getting a show that you would normally spend probably $25 a ticket on with Catherine Maloney, Best of the Bay 2018 winner, stand-up comic, veteran, awesome, funny headlining comic, feature comic. Also, that would be David Wayne and our very own Stand Up for News comedian Robin Savage hosting. And that's been our show, you guys. So now we got to sing. Stand up for news.
Stand up for news. We'll stand up for you. You can stand up too. Don't sit down.
Stand up now.
Stand up now.
Stand up for news.
Stand up for news.
Stand up for news.